Hi, my name is Bosker Popovic. I'm a holistic health coach and I teach my highly acclaimed holistic health program called Journey into Self-Awareness. In my program, I teach my clients how to effectively condition their minds, their bodies, their physiology, and overall release of negative energy and regeneration and acquisition of the positive and new fresh energy that makes them really sort of vibrant and healthy. So basically this is the holistic health approach that I work on. So today I would like to discuss briefly about the meaning of stress and what are the key causes of stress. Because of the sheer enormity of this subject, I decided to produce different videos that will follow after this one here, and in those videos I will explain in greater details some of the components of a stress that I'm going to outline in this short video right now. So without further delay, let's just get on with it. Stress in simple terms means that it is something that is affecting your body and your system, which is alien to you, and that being the case, it's causing a strain. So any strain that's caused into you is not natural. As it's not natural, you are perceiving that as being something that you cannot control, which in fact you cannot. And this is the key principle of stress. You're actually worried when you're focusing on the things that you cannot control. And I repeat again, you're focusing on things that you cannot control. That's the reason why you are stressed. So that's basically that. Now, how does stress come into being is very simple. There are two parts there are two types of stresses. One is internal and one is external. The internal stresses are your inability to control your thoughts. Because you cannot control your thoughts, or you don't want to control, or for whatever reason they slip out and they do whatever they want to do and you just observe them, you just follow them. They actually engage your relevant emotions, which in the case of the disempowering and negative thoughts, they will basically engage disempowering and negative emotions. When that happens, that will then start a whole process of negative chemical reactions in your body, which over a period of time will lead to illness. Another important part of understanding the inner stresses is your lifestyle. Lifestyle is extremely important, and not many people do realize that. Of course, there are people who know that, but in my sort of work and observations, working with my clients, a lot of people tend to get quite confused when I start talking about lifestyle. And what I'm talking about here, I'm talking about nutrition. One of the key and most obvious stresses are, number one, sugar, particularly white sugar. Also, all the white stuff, you must have read about it, and you must have seen a lot of publications and a lot of videos and TV programs that talk about the flour and white rice and all those sort of, so-called white or depleted products. I'll talk about it in the next videos because it's, again, a big subject. All I will say now, they're the key contributors because they're causing spikes in your metabolism. That affects automatically not only your body, your physiology, it affects your thought process. But again, affecting your thought process affects your emotions. And there we go. This is how the whole thing contributes to one another. Another thing that's important as well is the taboo thing, which is fats, or even saturated fats, or even worse. My God, but they are very useful. Saturated fats are very, very useful, and I will talk about it in my next videos about why saturated fats are very, very useful. Again, because of the size of the actual sort of subject. Again, water. How much water do you drink? water is absolutely essential for our being. Our bodies are made of more than 80% water. If we don't drink enough water, we are not cognitively able to operate, and let alone physiologically. So water is the key aspect of that. Again, talk about it later as well. Sleep. How much do you sleep? Very important. Rest, exercise. Those are all key things that every single person must have and must know on a daily basis what they do. How they condition themselves. What do they do? How do they actually look after themselves? Not only psychologically, observing your thoughts, your emotions, but also looking in your overall lifestyle. What do you do on a daily basis? Those are all the things that you need to be really taking care of if you want to live a good quality life. Coming now to the external stresses, because we now covered the internal, and all these, by the way, all these internal will be discussed again later in the next videos. External stresses are basically the anything that comes from outside of your being, and it could be a myriad of events or things that could be from relationships, from traffic, from work, from finances, from love life, from relationship with your parents, with your loved ones, with children, friends, you name it. It could be anything. And why are they so-called stresses is because they have this ability to give you that kind of trigger that will initiate that negativity in yourself, which if you ponder on the negativity and you dwell on the negativity, will actually increase all your psychophysical processes in your body, which will then culminate into stress. They'll all be explained again later in a greater detail. But let's say to understand this, imagine you need to go somewhere quickly. Let's say you have a business meeting, you're running late, you're stuck in the traffic and what have you. Purely and simply, because you're stuck in the traffic, you're getting stressed. Because you have to be somewhere else. But if you observe this from a different angle, stuck in the traffic is a situation that you're in. Can you influence that situation, and what can you do about that situation right now? There's not much you can do about it because it's outside yourself. That means it's outside of your control. So what you can do is go, let's say, earlier or what have you, and if that's not the case, you didn't leave early, right now, realize there's nothing you can do about it. It is outside of your control. I know it's easier said than done, but if you look at it from this perspective, what do you do to yourself if you continue stressing yourself about something that you cannot influence? Is it wise? I don't think it is. Whether you go through the nightmare or something like that, or you take an approach of saying, I cannot control this, but I can remember for next time I will do something else, something different, and this is not going to happen. That's what you can control. But going and literally making yourself ill because of something you cannot control is the external stressor. So, in order to remedy all this situation, because it's quite a long and a complex, it's not something that can happen overnight, it's not something you can do just like that. I'm sure you realize that. The key starting point in all this is very simple. It's the principle of mindfulness or meditation. And there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube and different medias and books and so on and so forth that explain a lot of good meditation techniques. And the most important thing is when you actually start practicing meditation, and a lot of people are trying to do is basically keep an open mind. What it means by keeping an open mind is not to suppress anything that comes into your conscious sphere. If you have stressful thoughts or thoughts of negative nature, let them be. Don't fight them. Acknowledge them, let it be, but do not, under any circumstance, hang on to them and let alone energize them with your emotions. So, if they come to you, whatever it may be, your boss or whoever it might be, or there's a traffic problem, or there's a bill not being paid, what have you, that's fine. You acknowledge it, it's there. It sits in your conscious sphere. Don't think about it. Let it disappear. Just let it move. That is the beginning. I know it's easier said than done, but there's ways how you can do that. But the simplest possible ways is to practice the resilience. And this is the way how you start doing that. You notice it, but you do not think about it, you do not hold on to it, and you do not energize it. When you start practicing that, then you're starting to become more even. And when you become more even, that means you're not having spikes in terms of being overly happy, not being overly sad, overly worried, and what have you. That is the point of so-called mastering your life. This is what I teach. But that takes you a long, long way to get there. Anyway, so this is really what I wanted to share with you for today. And in my next videos, I am going to explain in greater detail every single component, from what it means of how to control negative thoughts, which is explained here, then of course how to influence and how to control negative emotions, and then we talk about the lifestyles, and of course then how to handle those negative, so-called perceived negative events, and why do you see them as negative, and all that. So all that is going to come into the next videos. Until then, so I wish you to control your thoughts and emotions, and I will see you then again soon. Bye.